It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Every encounter, every conversation is a battlefield. Your presence alone sets the terms of engagement. Others test boundaries, probe for weaknesses, and react to subtle cues. The first victory is internal. Hesitation is the silent assassin of influence. Before you can sway another, you must command yourself with clarity, resolve, and intent. Treat your mind as a throne, your attention a loyal army defending it. Guard every thought, every impulse. A distracted mind surrenders authority before a word is spoken. Perception dominates reality. A single glance can disarm or embolden. Tone, posture, and timing become your weapons. Speak deliberately, act with measured precision, observe carefully. When someone challenges you, do not react hastily. Calmly acknowledge their point, then redirect the flow, like a general guiding troops through a narrow pass. One moment of composure transforms tension into leverage. Weak, don't overreact. Strong, strike with measured authority. Weak, pay attention to others. Strong, command awareness like a scout scanning the battlefield. Hesitation is fatal. Doubt delays action, and politeness often masks submission. Train yourself to act decisively, even in uncertainty. Make your presence felt without aggression, like a predator circling unseen. Evaluating opportunity, recognize the subtle signals, microexpressions, tone shifts, small hesitations. These reveal intent. Every interaction contains patterns waiting to be interpreted. A colleague challenges a proposal in a meeting. Listen fully, then restate your position with calm clarity, anchoring authority without confrontation. Your silence becomes a weapon, your words precise strikes. Influence is a skill honed like swordsmanship. Precision matters more than volume. Each gesture, each word carries weight. Measure your interventions, deploy them intentionally, and withdraw when unnecessary. Overreach signals weakness, restraint signals mastery. Build tension like a bowstring pulled taut, then release at the perfect moment to create maximum effect. Internal mastery translates to external command. Every decision, no matter how small, becomes a statement of control. Weak, be confident. Strong, project authority in every deliberate act. Weak, notice what others do. Strong, decode intention with relentless focus. Carry this into every interaction. Treat conversations as campaigns, observation as reconnaissance, silence as strategic pressure. Calm, deliberate actions compel respect without coercion. Boundaries are not walls. They are markers of sovereignty. Respect yourself first. Others follow. Victory begins the moment you internalize control. Observe, calculate, act. Every hesitation you eliminate strengthens your presence. Every measured response signals competence. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to establish dominance through composure, clarity, and purpose. Declare to yourself in every engagement, I move first, I command always. Your mind is the throne from which all influence flows. Command it first, and every action, every word becomes an extension of your authority. Thoughts are soldiers. Each one either strengthens your dominion or weakens your grip. Crown your thoughts with discipline. Refuse the chaotic chatter that erodes clarity. Observe your impulses and question their origin. Allow only intentions aligned with purpose to occupy the hall of your mind. Internal dominance signals outward authority. Hesitation and distraction are breaches in the palace walls. They invite disorder and invite others to encroach upon your space. Guard your focus as a general defends a citadel, knowing that the first attack in any engagement is against your own internal weakness. Selective attention becomes the fortification of your mental stronghold. Filter inputs deliberately. Not every opinion, every comment, every observation deserves entry. Evaluate the relevance of information before it reaches your throne. Daily, practice discerning which details advance your strategy and which distract. Mental clutter is the siege engine of indecision. A single misdirected thought can ripple outward, undermining influence before a conversation begins. Your mind must function like a fortress under continuous watch. Weak, pay attention carefully. Strong, fortify your focus against unnecessary intrusion. Weak, control your thoughts. Strong, command the trajectory of every mental move. Constant awareness of the environment and others' intentions provides strategic advantage. Observe subtle cues, body language, tonal shifts, micro-reactions. These signals reveal potential openings and resistance long before they manifest overtly. Like scouts surveying enemy lines, gather intelligence without revealing your position. Anticipate moves and adjust your posture accordingly. A disagreement in a meeting demonstrates this principle. Remain calm, acknowledge the point without defensiveness, then assert your perspective through measured reasoning. Your composure acts as both shield and weapon, compelling respect while preserving authority. Internal mastery extends into decisive action. Every decision, every statement, becomes a deliberate strike. Avoid impulsive reactions. Act with precision. The rhythm of your thoughts dictates the tempo of influence. Silence, reflection, and calculated response create a presence that others instinctively recognize as commanding. Treat your mind as both a strategy room and battlefield, where clarity shapes action and observation guides intervention. Reject distraction, enforce boundaries, and cultivate relentless focus. Strengthen your mental citadel so that every interaction bends toward your intent. Declare sovereignty over your mind and act from this position of absolute command. Observe, filter, calculate, and respond with measured authority. Let every thought serve the throne, every impulse reinforce the walls, and every action project mastery. Move deliberately, act decisively, and let presence speak louder than words. Maintain vigilance without rigidity, influence without coercion, and authority without hostility. Solidify control internally, and external command follows naturally. I rule first within, and all else yields. The first light of day is your signal to mobilize. Each morning, your mind and body must awaken as an army, ready for combat. Begin with intention. The thoughts you entertain before leaving your room shape every engagement you will encounter. Strike decisively at doubt and hesitation. Establish dominance over the internal battlefield before facing the external one. A calm, deliberate start projects authority and readiness. Observe the quality of your attention. What you focus on first carries disproportionate weight. Morning clarity is the reconnaissance phase of every campaign. Note who is aligned, who is neutral, and who might challenge your position. Like scouts, assessing terrain, gather these insights without revealing your strategy. Sharpen your weapons daily. Posture communicates confidence long before words are spoken. Tone shapes perception and emotional responses. Emotional control is your shield and your sword. Without it, even the strongest arguments falter. Conduct a weapons check every day. Breathe deeply, center yourself, and ensure your presence signals readiness rather than reaction. Your gestures, your voice, your movement through space all become tools to command respect. Weak, maintain composure. Strong, exude unshakable authority through every deliberate motion. Each interaction you enter will be influenced by this preparation, whether a conversation in the office or a simple exchange in public. Observation remains your strongest intelligence asset. Watch patterns carefully. The allies who support, the observers who evaluate, the adversaries who test limits. Early detection of tendencies allows preemptive positioning. For instance, if a colleague subtly resists a proposal, your calm acknowledgement combined with measured reasoning can redirect the exchange without conflict. This is strategic reconnaissance in action, using awareness to control outcomes before challenges escalate. Micro-reactions, hesitation or impatience signal opportunities to assert clarity and reinforce boundaries. Your presence becomes a stabilizing force, and your decisions carry weight because they emerge from preparation and observation rather than impulsivity. Establish morning rituals that reinforce this dominance. Simple acts, focused breathing, deliberate posture adjustments, reviewing priorities, prepare both mind and body for influence. Each day is a campaign, and preparation determines whether you lead or follow. Command your internal terrain first, and external engagements will fall under your authority. Treat each dawn as the first maneuver in a strategic operation where readiness, observation, and precision dictate the outcome of all subsequent interactions. Declare yourself the commander of the morning, the strategist of every step, and the sentinel of your influence. Move deliberately, sharpen your instruments, and observe with vigilance. Begin each day as a general surveying the battlefield, and ensure that every interaction aligns with the authority you cultivate. Your clarity sets the tempo, your composure dictates outcomes, and your presence compels respect. I rise ready, and none stand unprepared before me. Silence is not absence, it is strategy. Each pause you command becomes a tool, a lever that shifts the balance of power subtly but decisively. Strategic stillness forces others to act on your terms, revealing intentions, weaknesses, and priorities without confrontation. When conversation stalls, the mind races to fill the void, often exposing what it sought to conceal. Pause deliberately. Let the room breathe around your presence. Each second of measured quiet compounds authority, creating tension that others instinctively respect. Weak, be quiet to gain control. Strong, let silence draw out truth and submission. Observation surpasses immediate action. Like scouts behind enemy lines, your eyes, ears, and attention gather intelligence while your position remains unchallenged. Watch posture, micro-reactions, and subtle shifts in tone. Every movement conveys information about intent, confidence, and vulnerability. Acting prematurely risks revealing your strategy. Delay until the optimal moment, then deploy words, gestures, or decisions with precision. Daily practice of patient observation sharpens perception. A team meeting illustrates this. A colleague challenges a proposal aggressively. By holding still, you perceive their insecurity and redirect the discussion calmly, maintaining authority while guiding the outcome. Controlled presence transforms you into a calm predator. Movement is measured, voice steady, and reactions minimal. Your composure signals that you are anchored, unshakable, and aware. Influence radiates from restraint rather than force. Each interaction is shaped by subtle cues: the tilt of the head, the measured breath, the deliberate eye contact. Others sense your stability and mirror your tempo, allowing you to lead without coercion. Weak, stay calm and watch. Strong, project deliberate authority through presence alone. Your demeanor sets boundaries, communicates competence, and generates natural compliance. Mastering stillness requires intentional ritual. Begin each engagement by centering yourself, controlling your posture, and listening beyond words. Silence allows you to decode hidden patterns in behavior, anticipating reactions before they arise. Tension becomes a tool, a form of pressure that moves outcomes in your favor. Strategic restraint and quiet observation do not dominate by intimidation, They command by clarity and foresight. Your authority emerges from the ability to act with precision after assessing the terrain thoroughly. Command the room through measured absence and disciplined presence. Observe fully, pause with intent, and let each silence speak volumes. Build authority that draws attention and compels respect without overt action. Let your stillness be the arrow that pierces uncertainty, the shield that deflects rash impulses, and the signal that your strategy governs every interaction. I move in silence, yet all respond. Every battlefield is cluttered with obstacles, some visible, others hidden. Influence is never absolute when distractions, weak habits, and toxic presences occupy your space. Identify what drains energy, clouds judgment, or dilutes authority. Cut the dead weight swiftly and deliberately. Mental clutter, unresolved tasks, obsessive thoughts, or lingering doubts erodes control silently, allowing others to gain leverage without overt action. Social distractions, relationships that demand excessive attention without reciprocity, fragment focus, and weaken presence. Recognize these silently accumulating threats and remove them before they compromise your position. Weak, avoid distractions. Strong, eliminate every factor that undermines your command. Timing is decisive. Hesitation gives problems room to grow into unmanageable threats. Address issues immediately, whether a counterproductive habit, a draining engagement, or an emerging conflict. Small inefficiencies left unattended expand like unchecked territory on a battlefield. Acting decisively communicates authority and sets a precedent for your environment. For instance, if a colleague consistently sidetracks meetings with irrelevant commentary, redirect with calm assertiveness or limit interaction, establishing boundaries without confrontation. Each timely intervention preserves momentum and prevents erosion of influence. Precision is key. Act with clarity, not impulsiveness, ensuring every strike strengthens your position rather than creating new vulnerabilities. Sacrifice is the currency of control. Eliminating distractions requires letting go of comfort, familiarity, or attachment to routines that no longer serve strategic objectives. Each removed obstacle becomes a foothold on the throne of your mind and environment. The gains are cumulative. Clarity, energy, and focus concentrate power within your domain. Treat each sacrifice as an investment in dominance, not loss. Evaluate priorities daily, pruning what obstructs growth and discarding what weakens resolve. Strategic reduction transforms complexity into leverage. The battlefield clears, revealing paths for deliberate action and enhanced influence. Implement routines that reinforce ruthless elimination. Begin with mental audits, scanning thoughts, commitments, and relationships for those that impede authority. Follow with physical and social decluttering, organize space, streamline communication, and limit exposure to draining interactions. Every deliberate act of removal consolidates control and signals to yourself and others that your time, attention, and energy are non-negotiable. The clearer your battlefield, the more effectively you maneuver. Presence becomes more commanding, decisions sharper, and influence inescapable. Declare your commitment to clarity, focus, and strategic reduction. Observe, assess, act decisively, and remove obstacles without hesitation. Let every cut strengthen your throne, and every sacrifice fortify your dominion. Move forward with precision, conserving energy for engagements that truly matter, and project authority through disciplined elimination. I clear my battlefield, and nothing obstructs my command. Command begins with perception. The crown you wear is not merely symbolic. It signals authority before a single word is spoken. Confidence is visible in posture, decisiveness in movement, and composure in every glance. Wear the crown deliberately, and others perceive you as invincible. Your presence alone establishes boundaries and signals competence. Small gestures, a measured step, a controlled hand motion, a subtle tilt of the head, broadcast dominance without confrontation. Tone of voice shapes interpretation, signaling certainty, calm, and control. Weak, appear confident. Strong, project unshakable command through every motion and word. Every interaction is filtered through these signals of power. Eyes, posture, and timing communicate more than argument ever could. Micro-reactions reveal intent, and your deliberate projection of authority frames responses in your favor. Standing firm while listening, nodding sparingly, and speaking with clarity positions you as the strategic center of every exchange. A colleague interrupts or challenges you in a meeting, maintain measured eye contact, pause briefly, and respond with controlled phrasing. Your calm presence neutralizes resistance and guides the conversation toward alignment without coercion. These signals act as both shield and instrument, shaping perception before debate begins. Deception in this context is not falsehood, but artful presentation. A carefully crafted persona aligns with your objectives, highlighting competence while minimizing vulnerability. You are the strategist whose image precedes action, shaping expectations to advantage. Control the narrative of your presence. Deliberate gestures, confident tone, and purposeful movement form a cohesive impression of authority. Observers respond to perception first, intention second. Each interaction becomes an extension of the mask you choose to wear, a tool for influence that directs attention, respect, and compliance toward your chosen outcome. Master the mask through daily practice. Begin with posture checks, voice modulation, and intentional gestures. Observe the effects on others and refine continuously. Let your presence be commanding, your signals deliberate, and your persona coherent. The mask of command is not artifice. It is the disciplined projection of internal mastery, allowing influence to flow naturally through perception. Align appearance with intent, and others will follow before you issue a single directive. Declare your authority through presence, gesture, and tone. Control perception with precision, project competence, and embody the role of strategist and sovereign. Influence emerges from the deliberate alignment of action and perception, commanding compliance without aggression. I wear the crown, and all respond. Ruthlessness begins in the mind long before it appears in action. Identify opportunities with clarity, calculate the precise moment to act, and strike with deliberate force. Targeted precision transforms intention into results. Study patterns, observe vulnerabilities, and prepare interventions that require minimal effort but maximal effect. Hesitation allows potential to slip into the hands of others. Decisive timing ensures dominance. Weak, act decisively. Strong, strike with surgical timing, leaving no room for hesitation. Each action becomes a calculated maneuver, executed with intention rather than impulse. Emotional immunity is your shield and amplifier. Detachment prevents regret, doubt, or fear from diluting the power of your strike. Recognize that influence, when deployed without distraction, carries authority naturally. Emotional interference blurs perception and slows response. By maintaining calm, you convert potential friction into strategic advantage. A subtle correction in a team setting demonstrates this principle. When challenged, respond without defensiveness. Assess the situation and implement a measured intervention. Others perceive control, competence, and inevitability, reinforcing your position without the need for overt force. The invisible hand guides influence from the shadows. True mastery lies in subtlety, in shaping outcomes without exposing the mechanism behind them. Like an assassin navigating a complex terrain, your moves are deliberate, unseen, and unassailable. Influence spreads when actions are precise, timed, and discreet, leaving observers unaware of the control exerted until results manifest. Micro-adjustments, tone, posture, phrasing become instruments of authority. Each interaction is a chessboard, each choice a calculated advance or retreat, executed without revealing the strategy prematurely. Weak, be subtle. Strong, shape outcomes invisibly so your presence is felt before it is seen. Practice the inner discipline of decisive action. Daily, refine observation, maintain emotional neutrality, and cultivate patience until opportunity aligns with preparedness. Treat each engagement as a calculated mission where hesitation is weakness and clarity is strength. Internalize the mindset of the predator. Aware, precise, and unflinching. Let each act of influence be deliberate, controlled, and strategically timed. Command the unseen. Move decisively, maintain detachment, and act with surgical precision. Influence is most potent when invisible, timing flawless, and execution inevitable. Cultivate the inner assassin until every opportunity is seized and every outcome guided by your will. I strike unseen, and all outcomes bend to my command. Hunger drives action, but unbridled aggression invites chaos. Channel primal instincts with precision, transforming raw desire into a controlled force that propels influence. Controlled ferocity fuels decisive moves, pushing initiatives forward without succumbing to impulsivity. Every urge, ambition, drive is harnessed and directed strategically, like a predator restraining its strike until the moment is optimal. Weak, act on desire. Strong, transform instinct into calculated force, letting hunger guide but not dominate your strategy. Strategic provocation shapes the battlefield of human interaction. Tension, when applied with care, becomes a lever that shifts outcomes in your favor. Small challenges, calibrated disagreements, or subtle pressure points trigger responses that reveal priorities and vulnerabilities. Observe reactions, measure resistance, and adjust intensity accordingly. For example, in negotiations, presenting a counteroffer with composed firmness provokes careful assessment from the other party. Subtly bending decisions without overt confrontation. Precision ensures that provocation never escalates into uncontrolled conflict, but instead channels energy toward desired objectives. Patience magnifies the impact of every strike. The predator waits for the exact moment when action guarantees the highest yield, conserving energy and optimizing results. Timing is decisive. Launch influence or persuasion only when conditions align, allowing anticipation to build and receptiveness to peak. Opportunities often appear fleetingly. Preparation ensures readiness, while restraint prevents missteps. Every interaction becomes a calculated hunt, each word and gesture a tool for maximum effect. Weak, be patient. Strong, wait, strike, and influence with exact timing, ensuring every move counts. Integrate hunger with strategy through disciplined daily practice. Monitor impulses, channel ambition, and convert energy into deliberate action. Evaluate when to advance and when to restrain, maintaining balance between intensity and control. Let desire energize strategy, not override it. Controlled aggression, calibrated provocation, and precise patience combine to transform natural instincts into instruments of influence. Presence becomes magnetic, authority compelling, and action unavoidable. Feed the wolf within deliberately, shaping instinct into mastery. Harness energy, direct aggression with intent, and let timing dictate impact. Controlled hunger ensures that every move aligns with strategy, transforming raw force into unstoppable influence. I feed the wolf, and my strategy strikes with precision. Every interaction is a move on the grand chessboard of life. Anticipate responses, predict objections, and map desires before they surface, positioning yourself always 3 moves ahead. Thinking ahead transforms reactive behavior into strategic mastery. Weak, plan ahead. Strong, see the game before it begins, and position every move for maximum advantage. Sacrifice is often a strategic necessity. Yield short-term gains to secure long-term dominance, understanding that control is measured over time, not by isolated victories. Concede minor skirmishes deliberately to reinforce your influence where it matters most. Recognize when letting go strengthens your position. An ally appeased today may become a powerful supporter tomorrow. In negotiation, for instance, conceding on a trivial point while holding critical leverage demonstrates foresight and patience, shaping outcomes without appearing coercive. Maintain the king's vision at all times. While others focus on trivial conflicts or immediate rewards, keep your attention on the overarching structure. Observe the flow of alliances, tensions, and ambitions, seeing the battlefield in its entirety. Your perspective ensures you act with clarity and avoid entanglement in distractions that compromise long-term objectives. Hypothetically, this could be likened to a general overseeing a war from the high ground. Small skirmishes occur below, but the commander's focus remains on winning the campaign. Integrate anticipation, sacrifice, and oversight into daily practice. Chart possible outcomes, adjust for emerging variables, and respond with precision. Each interaction becomes deliberate, each engagement a calculated step toward ultimate influence. Let foresight guide action, and measured concessions amplify authority. Weak, think ahead. Strong, predict, position, and act so every move serves the end game. Command the board. See 3 moves ahead. Sacrifice wisely and maintain perspective. Influence becomes inevitable when strategy guides action and every move reinforces your position. I see the board, and every piece bends to my strategy. Discipline is the forge of power. Condition your mind daily through repetition, meditation, and deliberate self-denial, sharpening focus until hesitation becomes impossible. Weak, practice daily. Strong, forge your mind in the fire of routine, and nothing will sway your resolve. Each act of consistent effort strengthens neural pathways, creating automatic responses rooted in clarity and purpose. Mental conditioning is not passive, it is active armor against persuasion, distraction, and subtle coercion. Embrace discomfort deliberately. Exposure to mild pain, social friction, or psychological tension increases tolerance for the challenges others cannot endure. A brief cold shower, early rising, or extended focus session builds resilience, teaching the mind to endure pressure without collapsing. Modern studies on stress inoculation confirm that controlled exposure to discomfort improves performance under strain. This is your test of pain. Practice controlled suffering to fortify the psyche, knowing that each small conquest over discomfort compounds influence and self-mastery. Establish daily rituals that cement discipline and strategic readiness. Simple, consistent habits. Journaling intentions, reviewing priorities, or practicing measured responses create an invisible scaffolding that holds your attention and energy in check. These rituals function like sentries on the palace walls, defending your focus from external encroachments. Hypothetically, a 30-minute morning reflection before engagement sets the tone for the day, enabling clear perception and deliberate action. Weak, have routines. Strong, install rituals that guard your mind as a fortress against distraction. Combine mental conditioning, exposure to controlled discomfort, and disciplined rituals to cultivate an unshakable inner core. Execute each day with intention, refusing shortcuts or escape from challenge. Let your mind remain untouchable, your reactions measured, your focus unwavering. Weak, stay disciplined, strong, armor your mind and let nothing penetrate your command. Steel your mind and the world bows to your will. Command is born in silence and forged in consistency. Cultivate an aura of inevitability by combining unwavering confidence with calculated unpredictability. When others cannot anticipate your next move, resistance collapses under the weight of uncertainty. Weak, be confident, strong, radiate inevitability and the world adjusts to your motion before you act. Every interaction becomes a test of perception. Your presence alone shapes outcomes long before a single word leaves your lips. Construct a psychological fortress to shield your mind and your influence. Deep mastery of communication, negotiation, and self-control prevents manipulation from finding entry points. This fortress is reinforced daily through reflection, disciplined practice, and selective engagement. Modern research confirms that self-regulation and situational awareness reduce susceptibility, social coercion, allowing you to maintain composure when others falter. Weak, stay aware. Strong, fortify your mind as an impregnable citadel that no strategy can breach. Adopt the final form of presence, where every gesture, pause, and intonation becomes a deliberate tool. Words are no longer merely statements. They are instruments of direction, persuasion, and subtle command. A calm smile, a measured step, or an intentional silence can shift group dynamics and individual behavior. Hypothetically, a subtle eyebrow raise or shift in posture conveys authority and focus, signaling control without aggression. Weak, project authority. Strong, let each motion carve influence into the perception of those around you. Integrate confidence, mental fortitude, and refined presence into a singular, untouchable state. Execute with precision, remain unpredictable yet controlled, and let your influence radiate naturally, drawing compliance without coercion. Your aura, your defenses, and your actions must align as a unified force. Become untouchable, and the world bends before your will. All power converges where preparation meets perception, and the mind becomes a battlefield and a throne simultaneously. You are no longer reacting, you are orchestrating, every thought, gesture, and silence fused into an invisible engine of authority. Integration of power is not occasional, it is continuous. Your morning rituals sharpen focus, your calculated pauses create tension, and your presence signals inevitability. These elements are the armor and the blade. The world measures your influence, not by loud declarations, but by the subtle sway your calm command exerts over situations and people. Weak, be confident. Strong, let every action radiate certainty. Hesitation is your enemy. Observe like a general surveying the battlefield. Every interaction becomes reconnaissance. Study microexpressions, body language, and vocal tones. Discern intentions and vulnerabilities without drawing attention to your scrutiny. Modern psychology confirms that awareness of nonverbal cues predicts outcomes more accurately than overt intervention. Weak, watch people carefully. Strong, see what others hide and act accordingly before they realize their position. Through observation, you control tempo. Silence and measured response function as both shield and spear. Strategic restraint forces others to reveal their plans, exposing weaknesses that can be leveraged ethically and decisively. The unseen strings of influence operate quietly but persistently. Like a master chess player, You anticipate reactions 3 moves ahead, guiding interactions toward desired outcomes without direct confrontation. Sacrifice short-term comfort or concessions to secure long-term authority. Modern leaders often succeed by making calculated retreats, preserving energy and positioning to dominate critical moments. Hypothetically, a brief concession in a conversation might secure compliance in more substantial decisions later. Your role is not coercion, but orchestration, bending social currents without visible force. Mastery of outcomes requires your presence to become a force that subtly shapes the environment. Each word, pause and gesture is deliberate, projecting authority while maintaining calm confidence. Emotional detachment allows decision-making unclouded by ego or bias. Controlled intensity channels ambition and urgency without chaos. Hypothetically, in a team meeting, calmly redirecting a challenge with a single composed statement can realign focus and reinforce your authority without overt pressure. Weak, handle situations well. Strong, let precision and composure dictate outcomes. Combine ritual, observation, and strategic restraint into a singular discipline. Your internal structure, the habits, focus, and controlled energy fuels outward influence. The result is a presence that is at once commanding and unobtrusive, decisive yet patient. Your influence becomes both shield and instrument, guiding interactions, shaping perceptions, and aligning events with your objectives. Every day is preparation, every action a subtle execution, every silence a calculated advantage. Absolute influence is earned in quiet mastery, not in noise. True power begins within. You cannot command the world without first commanding yourself. Internal sovereignty is the foundation of influence. Your thoughts, emotions, and impulses must obey your conscious will. Treat your mind as a fortress, disciplined and unyielding, where distraction and weakness are unwelcome. Mental clarity functions as armor and weapon simultaneously. Weak, focus on yourself. Strong, make your mind an unassailable stronghold. Let no impulse dictate action. Daily dominion converts insight into habit. Practice the techniques of observation, restraint, and strategic decision-making each day. Measure your progress not by grand gestures, but by consistent execution. Ritualized action transforms knowledge into automatic influence, ensuring that in every social or professional engagement, your presence commands respect and subtly guides outcomes. Modern psychology confirms that habit formation solidifies behavioral patterns, making strategic thinking instinctive rather than forced. Internal sovereignty extends to emotional regulation. Detach from reactive impulses. When challenged, respond with composed authority, redirecting conflict without aggression. Hypothetically, if a colleague undermines a proposal, acknowledge their input calmly, then pivot focus to the solution, reinforcing your control without confrontation. Use micro-pauses to project confidence. Your silence can be as compelling as words. Weak, stay calm. Strong, let restraint signal authority. Your composure dictates the room. Anchor your practice in a final mantra that embodies readiness, decisiveness, and strategic dominance. Repeat it to center focus and assert command before critical interactions. I act with clarity, I lead with purpose, I command the world. This mantra fuses all lessons, discipline, observation, influence into a single mental trigger. Every day, enact these principles, integrating thought, habit, and presence until your influence flows naturally, unquestioned, and unavoidable. I command myself, the world follows.